What's up guys, welcome to your 25th tutorial, and in this tutorial we're gonna start talking about strings. Now strings are something that you use a lot because whenever you are working with text and you're working with lines or you're working with files, we have text in that, you need strings. Alright, so let's just get started with it. For using strings in C or C++ program, what you need to do is you need to include a new header file. You could notice I just cleared out .c time and csv library because we don't need them anymore, and just include file name string. It pops up like that. Alright, so you need to include this string class inside your program so that you could use strings in your main program. Alright, so for using string, what you can do is, first of all, like any other variable, we should declare a string variable which could be used to store strings and many different kind of things. So just type a string space, and you can name your string anything, like you could name your variable anything. So I just name it apples. Definitely spelled it wrong. Alright, so we just created a string named apples. Now there are many ways to initialize a string, and initialization is, there are many ways to put something inside your string. And the first one is, just like any other variable, you just put a assignment operator, and between those two quotation marks, whatever you write, it will get stored in this apple string. So let me just write, this is a string. Alright, so let's just print it out to verify that we are doing it right. Apples, and just end at 9. Alright, so when you building on this, says this is string. So this was one way to initialize a string by just assigning it whatever we want to put in it. Alright, next way is, what you can do is, let me just clear this up. Alright, just after writing a string variable, include those two brackets, and then inside those brackets you could write anything, like again this is a string, and now this string stored in this variable. So this is a pretty strange way of doing that, but just building on this, it says same, this is string, right? So this is another way of appending a string to your variable. Another way could be getting the string from the user. Now here's a very interesting thing that's going to pop up, and I'm just going to tell you in a second. Just see in apples, and then we'll see out apples. Alright, so let's just build on this. And now we got a terminal, we have to enter string here. Let's enter let's enter Abhansh. Alright, enter it, see out Abhansh. Alright, that's pretty good. Now let's enter something else, the string we entered earlier, that is, this is a string. What is this? It just outputs this, see what it's pronounced, but where's the rest of the string? I mean, I entered this is a string and it just gave me this. Now here's my point. What scene does is, it terminates its input at any blank character or at any white space. Now what that means is, whenever I go to my terminal and I type this is a string, scene starts taking from the string from here, okay, and as soon as it encounters this blank space, it terminates the input. Alright, so this is a drawback of C, but this stops us from entering a string that has spaces. But what if we indeed wanted to enter strings though that had spaces between them? What you could do is, you can just write here instead of scene, write a function getLine, and inside getLine what you can do is inside those two brackets just enter scene comma and the name of your string, that's apples, right? Just enter semicolon here, and now what will happen is this function will get the string until we press enter or until we finish typing. I mean, you just see in a second what I'm gonna say. All right, here it is. Now if I enter any string like this is a string with white characters and spaces, right? This is a string that has spaces between them, and now just watch what happens when I press enter. It says this string with white characters and spaces. So it takes a string until we press enter, right? So this is pretty cool. So we could enter strings that have spaces and all that. Now let's just clear this up. Now what I wanted to tell you is many times you may come across problems where you have a very long string and you need the length of that string. I mean, let's say you have to store that string in some other variable or in some other array. So what you can do is you can use an inbuilt function that's built in the string class, and that is length. So what you can do is just write a string variable apples and then enter that dot operator and then type length. It pops right there. Alright, so if you enter apples dot length with those two brackets, and if you build and run this, it will tell us 0. Why is that? Because we didn't enter anything in this string. So let's just initialize it. String, and now let's just build and run this. Alright, so it tells us the length 16. Let's just check it out. So 4 and 2, 6 and 7, 7 and 6, there are 13, and there are 3 white spaces here. So 13 and 3 are 16. So indeed it's correct, right? So this tells us the length of the string. Another thing what you can do is, suppose you wanted to access an element that is in between the string. Suppose you wanted to access this I. Now this is at 1 0 1 2 3 4. This is at 5th position, right? What you can do is just like, okay, let me first tell you this. Strings, those are just array of characters. I mean, it's mostly similar to a char array like this. All right. So it's an array of characters. So you can just all right. Okay, so this is an array of characters. This string is just like this, an array of characters. So you can apply operations on it as an array. Now what you can do is you can just enter those two square brackets, and inside those you can write like 5, and what this will do is this will output the 5th element, that is I. Alright, so 1 2 3 4 5. So this 6th element, and computer starts counting from 0, right? So 0 1 2 3 4 5. 5th element is this, and it's I, so it outputs that. Another way you can do that is by typing that dot operator again and again using an inbuilt function, that is add, right? And in those two brackets you can put the element index, that is 5, and when you bring in this, it gives out the same thing, that is I. I think I'm running out of time in this tutorial. There are many things that are left in string, so I'll just tell you that in next tutorial. So thank you guys for watching.